Hello everyone, my name is LabdaGD and welcome back to SMPVideo. So today what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be finishing the house. And by finishing the house, I mean truly finishing it, because we're also gonna do the interior. I spent like 1.5 hours designing the interior and just finishing the last bits of the house so that it looks complete. And I just want to spend this episode building that. So yeah, let's just get cracking, I guess. Alright, hello and welcome to an episode which is basically entirely narration. I decided to just completely abandon my commentary because it was probably terrible anyways. So yeah, I'm just like narrating over this whole video. I'm not really doing much of commentary. So, what I set out to do in this video was just finish up my house in the form of making an interior, which I actually got done in like one evening, surprisingly, when I was like in a call with my friends to keep me sane, you know, because making an interior is a very, very time-consuming process, so those guys helped to keep me at least a little bit in a good mood. The sad thing is, I didn't record any of the audio from my friends, and also our entire conversation is basically in Dutch, so basically all the audio footage is completely unusable, which is also one of the reasons why I'm just narrating this whole video. So let's just get cracking with the process, which is basically the only thing I can really talk about during this whole video. But I started out with actually asking one of my friends if there was a dark oak forest nearby, because I actually needed some dark oak wood for some trapdoors, and also I think like a couple of stairs or something. I don't really remember, but I knew I needed dark oak for something. Luckily, he was so kind to actually show me the way to the dark oak forest. It turns out it's actually very near like spawn. So it didn't take much to actually find one, so that was kind of a nice thing, I guess. And now it was time to actually start building the interior. Now I was gonna go through this layer by layer, and what I mean by that is I basically start at the bottom floor, do everything on the bottom floor, then go to the second floor, do everything on the second floor, and then do the top floor. Because that's just the most efficient way I like to work. But it also meant just going back and forth a lot between my building world and the actual server, because stupid me, I forgot to take any like screenshots, and after the fact I could probably have used some screenshots and just not have to log out and log in every time, but whatever. So before I actually started work on the inside, I decided to just perfect the outside of it and make it just that little bit better. Which basically just meant clearing out all the snow on the balcony and just adding some chairs and flower pots and stuff. So it didn't take that long, but it just made it look that little bit more special, you know? And it actually came out looking really, really good in my opinion. So now, at least from the outside, it looked a lot more cozy. There was of course still the completely blank and empty inside of it, but that's what I was going to do next. I was gonna do the interior. So I started off with the bottom floor, of course, just, you know, enforcing my layer by layer process. And I started off just sectioning off all the rooms that I was gonna have for this layer, which was only like 2 rooms, so it didn't take that long to do that, but I think it's still important to section off your floor with rooms, otherwise it's gonna look pretty empty. After doing that, I actually extended my storage system a little bit, not because I actually needed more storage. I have plenty of storage. I even have just a lot of chests that are just empty now. But just to have this symmetry and to kind of fill up that empty space on the other side of the storage system, because I really didn't know what to put there, so it was just like, let's just put another storage unit there. And in the end, I'm quite happy with it. It looks pretty good. It's not any different from the other side, but it just gives the house that little bit more symmetry, you know? I really like it. After that, I was still actually working on the same side, but I made an enchanting area. I moved my enchanting area from the mountain where it was in before, just a hole in the wall basically, and I actually moved it inside the house. And I think I made like a really nice little place for it. I think it looks really cute. And the last thing I had to do basically now in like the main storage room was actually lay down a little bit of a carpet. Now I went for the very specific color pattern of cyan, green, and blue, because I think they contrast or like they're really nice colors together, you know, and in kind of this cold environment, like they're all pretty cold colors. So I think I did a pretty good job there with the colors. And now the main room on the bottom floor was basically done, so now it was time to work on the second room. This room was kind of gonna be like an armory slash office. I really didn't know what I wanted to do with this, but I basically just made like a window with like our armor stands in it with all the types of armor, and I made like a little desk. I really this room was just kind of random. And that was basically the whole bottom floor done. So now I actually started working on the second floor, as you do. Once again, I actually started out just, you know, mapping the rooms out a little bit. This was basically just gonna be like one gigantic main room plus like a hallway on the side. So I didn't really have to do much of, you know, actually planning. I started out the actual build of the second floor with a little kitchen. With some barrels and, you know, just kind of, I think this is gonna be later, it's gonna be my makeshift brewing area, I guess, even though it's right now it's just for decoration. I also made a little table, and I kind of the thing I wanted to go with in this room. It's basically just like a dining slash living area. Yeah, it's kind of one big room where all the just sitting and relaxing stuff happens, I guess. This also meant incorporating a shit ton of bookshelves into this room, because I kind of wanted it to be like a kind of an antique. Well, not really antique, just kind of old-timey kind of room. So there's lots of books, no TV or anything like that, because those are for modernistic wusses. And of course, I had to just incorporate my favorite elements of any room, the jukebox. I plan on getting all of the discs at some point during the season, like all music discs, or maybe just like a disc farm and just sell them all, like actually produce music discs. Because I really, really love the music discs, or kind of like the music industry in this game. I don't really know how you'd call it, but that's what I like to call it. Another thing I did was, you know, start putting down some pottery. I didn't put in the leaves yet for some reason, but yeah, I started just putting down some grass and some trapdoors with the fence on it, like basically like plants, pretty big plants in the actual house. I also started again with the carpet on the second floor. Now I went with the same design as the first floor, or the bottom floor, should I say. But I ran out of wool halfway through, so I had to abandon that plan for a bit. I actually had just a little bit of white wool left, so I made paintings out of those and decided for a good spot for those. And after that, I grinded for a little bit of more wool, and I finished the carpet that I was working on. The second floor was almost done. There was just one more thing. I left a little bit of a wooden plank, like a shelf for little plants, like above the stairwell, which was definitely the hardest thing to actually make. That took quite a bit to actually get right. But after that, the second floor was finally done. Okay then, well, my second floor is now done as well, and this is what I mean by it being my best interior ever. I don't think I've ever done anything this good for like an interior. I really like my carpet design in this. I am also a big fan of this little kitchen. I still need a brewing stand there. Like a little balcony, lots of paintings. This is my jukebox, because this is a like an actual jukebox block, as you can see. Bookshelf, big bookshelf, like a nice little design. It isn't just like a flat surface. little chilling area to chill, I guess. Table, yeah. Now it's all that I've got to do is just get this attic, I guess, decorated. I'm sorry, this wandering trader is driving me absolutely mad. Anyway, yeah, I still need to do the attic, but I think I'm gonna leave that for tomorrow because I am very tired. I've been working on this like all evening, and I'm kind of tired, so yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it for today. Tomorrow I'm gonna come back though and get the top floor done. So I'll see you then. Okay, it's now the next day. I'm refreshed. I'm not so tired anymore, even though I didn't sleep very well last night. But that's all right. That's fine. And now I'm determined to actually finish this last bit with basically just like an attic and like my bedroom. That's all that needs to be finished. I'm sorry for yesterday's recording because I forgot to record the desktop audio, which was not very smart. But I think I'm just gonna put on like a podcast or like just a YouTube video and finish this damn thing up because yeah, I wanted to be done for the video. So yeah, let's just get cracking. Today was the last day of making this interior, and I gotta say I'm glad it's the last day because it was fun to do, but it was also a lot of work, and it was also just a lot of unconventional things that you have to craft, to have to gather. Like, I never knew I needed so many plant pots or like just trap doors even. Like, I don't think I've crafted this many trap doors in my life. It didn't help though that this last layer was actually still pretty tough to do, especially the mapping out of the rooms, because my roof has a lot of slabs in it, and when you have slabs in your roof, sometimes the log and the slab do not connect, so you have to put in an extra slab right at the top, which is really annoying. But eventually, after a lot of going back and forth, like, oh shit, this doesn't work, and oh, I gotta redo this, I eventually mapped out the rooms a little bit. Luckily, this was actually by far the hardest part of making this top floor, because it's basically just 2 rooms. I made a bedroom and I made a kind of attic for like all my junk. So there wasn't really much like technical stuff I needed to do. Overall it was pretty simple. So I started making the bedroom. I actually placed down a double bed even though I sleep alone. That's definitely not just because the room has like an even amount of blocks in width. It's for my gamer GF, I swear. The room itself wasn't actually anything too special. It was basically just a bed on one side and then like a desk with a computer on the other side. So like even the bedroom itself was pretty simple. I did need a couple of extra bookshelves because I just love incorporating bookshelves into everything, I guess, but yeah, it really wasn't that big of a struggle. Once again, this room had the exact same carpet pattern that I have in every single one of my floors, the blue, green, and cyan design, just to keep it consistent. I don't want the bedroom to look radically different to the rest of the house. And as a last thing, I just threw some barrels and some scaffolding into the attic just to have something there. Otherwise, it's just an empty room, which I really don't like having empty rooms in my house. So I filled it up with some junk, and yeah, that serves as an attic now, I guess. And that was basically all that I had to do. Okay, well, I appear to have it all done. As you can see, I've closed it all off basically. I've made the bedroom, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. It's a little bit empty in the middle, but I don't really know what to put here, so I guess it's fine. Put a little computer desk or whatever here, just cause my bed, big bed, lots of bookshelves. And I have a little attic right here where it just, I guess, when time comes to pass, you know, I'll store some shit in here or something. I don't know. If my storage system is like piling up. But yeah, that's basically all I wanted to do this episode, because now the whole of my interior is done, and it's genuinely one of the best interiors I have ever made. I'm so happy with it. That trapdoor needs replacing, but anyway, I also still need to finish some of this, so it's not completely done yet, but I think it's done enough to where I can wrap up the episode and say I've made my interior, basically. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to do. I'm super happy with it, especially this whole just living section, with like the little, I really like how this looks. I like the kind of like hole I have here that leads to like the roof already. Like, I'm so happy with how it turned out. It looks absolutely amazing in my opinion. Yeah, just even like the upside, like houses usually, the top floor is usually a lot less decorative than like the bottom floors. So I think it's pretty fitting that this is just a little bit more flat than like down here. So yeah, I'm super happy with it. But if you did enjoy this episode of SMP Video, please hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps me a lot, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.